Optic Planet. Shout out to Johnny Snow. Man, he does some great things on the AK. About to put this muzzle brake on there. Ooh. Yeah, I think I got this off Optic Planet. Shout out to Johnny Snow. Man, he does some great things on the AK. About to put this muzzle brake on there. Ooh. Yeah, I think I got this off Optic Planet. Shout out to Johnny Snow. Man, he does some great things on the AK. About to put this muzzle brake on there. Ooh. Oh, hold on, y'all. Yeah, I think I got this off Optic. Oh, this caught me off guard. What's going on, everybody? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Man, this is kind of late. I did do this broadcast kind of late in the mug, so I'm not expecting a lot of people to jump on. Ooh, that boy look nasty. Okay, yeah. What's going on, everybody? Man, I just came back from a great vacation. Got back yesterday afternoon. Spent some time with my family. Went on a carnival cruise. And also we went to Jamaica, and I gotta grab my phone because I don't remember exactly. I know one of them was Jamaica for sure, and I can't remember the other one. But I know them guys down there this weekend in Thomasville, Georgia, had a great time, man. For the meetup, I wish I was there, but I was able to spend some time with my great aunt. Spend some time with my own mother, so. You know, I definitely had to take that trip because I wasn't taking a trip home this year. So, you know, it was either pretty much, man, I decided to make that decision to go see family. So, hey, what can I say? Can't be mad at that. Spend some time with my great aunt. You know what I'm saying? Which I had a great time with my great aunt. Got to see some cousins that I ain't seen since they was born. Seen some cousins I grew up with when we was kids. I ain't seen them in a minute. So, you know, all around a great trip. Great trip. Just found out I ain't got to go into work today. They're going to pay me for it. So, I actually got an extra day off, man. I was expecting to go to work today. But my boss texted me saying that I didn't have to go in. It was Good Friday or something like that. I can't remember. And then I didn't have to come in. So I said, forget it. I'm going to go ahead and broadcast. I wasn't planning on broadcasting today, but I said, forget it. So I ain't going to have nobody on here because I kind of did it at 12:53. But, you know, shout out to all the fathers out there doing what they supposed to do. You know, and shout out to the ones that's trying to do right. But, you know, sometimes you got that hurdle you got to deal with, and you know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to go into all that, but you know, some of us got to jump through hurdles and hoops just to see our children. You know, what people don't understand is you do nothing but hurt the child in the long run, especially fathers that want to be there. That's putting out that effort to try to be in their children's life. But you know, some women, unfortunately, got to deal with the consequences. And that consequence is you have to deal with that woman. So, and I've been blessed to only have to deal with one woman. That is my wife, who is the mother of my children. and I don't have to deal with nobody else. So I think I did good. I think I did good. So I definitely enjoyed my time with family. Like I said, shout out to all the fathers that's doing their just doing their job, and to the ones that's trying to get there and just trying to do the right thing, but you're getting, railroaded at the same time, man. I can only feel for you. I'm glad I don't have to deal with it. That's all I do know. I'm just so glad I don't have to deal with it. But just like a woman thinks her body is sacred, well, you can't give it out. Or you give it out to the wrong person, you get a jackass in return. And I've been fortunate to only have one. And all of them was by one woman. I don't say I can deal with so many personalities. That's probably why I don't have 16 baby mamas, because I can't deal with 16 personalities. Because I crack one of them in the head. So I only have to deal with one, and one only. But happy Father's Day, man. I'm grateful to be a father. I'm grateful to have beautiful children. And I don't take that for granted, man. That's a blessing. That's a gift. That some people don't get a chance to have, but you get a chance to get. Google Pixel. So like I said, I appreciate all you guys. Damn, what the hell happened? Ooh, Donald Trump. But I ain't gonna be here long. I just decided to jump on here for a second. Wish all the fathers happy Father's Day. Like I said, I just did this 7 minutes before I had the broadcast. So, just wanted to give all the fathers, hardworking fathers out here that's doing their job, their shout out. We don't really get the thanks and the love and respect that we deserve, but I do it because I was raised to be a father. If you lay down and have children, I always taught by my own father that you need to take care of them. No ifs and buts about it. Take care of what you have laid down to create. So I was taught that by my father, and I've been doing it ever since. And I'm a proud father of two. So that's where I'm at, man. So, happy Father's Day, Father's Day, Father's Day to everybody. Much love and respect to the ones that's doing their job. Don't have to be asked, don't have to be forced. But that, no matter who you lay down with, and if a baby is conceived in that situation, that regardless if you're married or not, whatever the situation may be, that the child has nothing to do with the bad decisions that you made or the drunk decisions that you've made, and you decide to neglect your father, your responsibility as a father. Um, and like I said before, to the ones that's trying to be great fathers, but you're having to deal with that hurdle. Keep on trying, keep on doing the best that you can, and don't let nobody discourage you from taking care of your children. Um, Unfortunately, friends of the court ain't our best of friends. They treat us like enemies. They treat us like outcasts in 90% of a lot of cases. But man, I'm encouraging you to keep that focus, keep that determination, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dark or how deep that tunnel is. I'm encouraging you, man. Keep on going. Don't let nobody discourage you from being a father or being a father. Period, man. What is my computer doing? My computer is acting stupid. Um, but it's harder said than done. I would say, man, I tell anybody, if you're gonna sleep, man, my computer acting stupid. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Okay. Um, if you're gonna sleep around, man, just make sure you protect yourself. Um, having a good time, okay, I get it. Single man, you wanna do what you wanna do, protect yourself at least. Don't spread yourself so thin that you have a bunch of problems. Because what comes with having many children by multiple women, it can be a good thing, and it can also be one of the worst things you could do. Because first of all, multiple women, multiple children, you got to figure out how to spend time between them children. If you have multiple, baby mamas or whatnot, um, and that's just a dilemma. And that's just something you have to deal with if you decide to go that route. Um, Me, I choose not to. I don't like dealing with a bunch of women. I don't like dealing with a bunch of personalities. I don't like to deal with a bunch of baby mamas. I don't like none of that. So I wasn't just out here laying down having babies, because there's a financial responsibility from it. There's a protection aspect that comes away. It's more than one thing when you talk about having multiple children with multiple women. You're supposed to be that first time, especially with daughters and sons as well, but daughters more importantly. You're that first line of protection, not their mother, but you as a male. You're the first line of protection they look up to. Financially, you're responsible, man. Time wise, spending time with them, you're responsible for that. So just laying down, have multiple babies by multiple women. Yeah, it might be fun and right now, but then you leave a society for the unfathers. I mean, you leave a society of fatherless children, and that's what we're dealing with today with a lot of these knuckleheads. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that their dad didn't want to step up to the plate and be a father, but want to, you know, do their thing, but not take care of the responsibility side of things. But, to the ones that do it, happy Father's Day. To the ones that know that, take care of your children. Hey, teaching your children are your responsibility. Man, shout out to you. And you should be rewarded and you should be acknowledged for that, because mothers are acknowledged, on Mother's Day in a big way. So, I'm definitely doing this one because I wasn't going to hop on, but I'm doing this for the fathers that are doing what they're supposed to do, taking care of their, going to work, taking care of their children, and to the ones that's trying to take care of their children, but you have an obstacle because of the woman's not understanding that the father is very important in a child's life. She's not understanding that, if you don't, now, if you're a guy, you making empty promises, then yeah, she has the right to say, you're not going to keep on making empty promises to my child. Understood? And men, you have to understand that. You can't keep saying, I'm going to come get him, I'm going to come get him. And every time you're supposed to come get him, it's an issue that comes up. Because now she has to comfort that boy, that girl, to be like, well, you got to explain why. That mother has to explain why the father hasn't showed up, or why they're sitting at the window and the father was supposed to be here at this day, at this time, and never shows up. So, and I give you an example, a powerful episode to this day that really sticks with me as far as being a father is Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. His father has never been there. And the time that he's supposed to come get his father, his father's supposed to come get him and take him on the road with him, he declines that. He pretty much does what he's been doing his whole life. He makes an excuse to why he couldn't take his own son with him. And not only that, but his uncle, who has been his father figure pretty much his whole life, has to explain and has to sit there and watch him hurt as his father walks out the door and leaves him in. Will, he shrugs it off, but at the end of the day, he's very mad because his father wasn't there the way he's supposed to have been. In time, it's definitely, and I've learned that myself, time is the most precious thing you can give a child. Money is okay. Everything, we think about throwing them and giving them everything, money and all that. That they're to solve everything, but man, time is everything to a child. I'm gonna give y'all a snippet. I'm gonna give y'all 4 minutes of what I'm talking about.
Lou, if you walk out of Will's life now, don't you ever come back.
Sit down. I ain't got time for no lecture. I said sit down, Lou. Will was doing just fine until you showed up. But now that you're back, you have responsibilities to him.
Look, we're still going to take the trip.
Oh, bull! Bull! Will is not a coat that you hang in the closet, then pick it up when you're ready to wear it. His life goes on. He's not supposed to be here for you. You're supposed to be here for him.
You get off my back. You think I want this? It just happened. Now, when Will was a baby, I was scared.
Cut the crap, all right? Cut it. Because I've been there. But I didn't run out on my family. I was there every day for them because that's what a man does.
Fine, Philip. You win. You the man. You a better man than me.
You happy?
Now, you gonna tell Will or not?
I'm not going to do your dirty work for you.
Fine. I'll call him from the road.
Yeah, then why don't you do that?
Yeah, I'll do that. Daddy out. What's up? Will, I'm glad you're here. Some business came up I got to handle. So we're going to have to put our trip on hold. You understand?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Just for a couple of weeks.
I understand.
Yeah. Maybe a little longer.
Yeah, whatever.
Look, I'll call you next week and we'll iron out the details. Okay?
Yeah.
It was great seeing you, son.
You too, Lou.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Will.
You know what? Actually, this works out better for me. You know, the Slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing. You know what I'm
Will,
saying?
it's all right to be angry.
Hey, why should I be mad? I'm saying at least he said goodbye this time. I just wish I hadn't wasted my money buying this stupid present.
I'm sorry. If there was something that I...
Hey, you know what? You ain't got to do nothing, Uncle Phil. Hey, ain't like I'm still 5 years old, Ain't like I'm going to be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's daddy coming home, Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first day without him, right? I learned how to drive. I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him! I ain't need him then, and I don't need him now.
Will.
Now, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm going to get through college without him. I'm going to get a great job without him. I'm going to marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm going to have me a whole bunch of kids. I'm going to be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come you don't want me, man?
If you haven't seen that episode, man, that's a powerful episode. And like you said, why does my daddy not want me? And that's a powerful statement. I think Will was a teenager at that time when that happened. I think he was about 16 or something like that, 15, 16. When that particular episode, I think that was his age right around that time. I think he was in high school or whatnot. But his last thing was, well, why you don't want me? Man, spend time with him while you can. I cherish the time I spent with mine. I love to sit down in the audience and see them do their activities. My son playing baseball. I will be pretty soon when he really get into a season, taking a day or two off to see him play some ball. I go to my daughter's competition, at least 1 or 2 competitions a year. And I'm definitely going to do my son the same way, go to about 2 or 3 of his games. He just started baseball. I usually go at least 1 or 2 of his band things. He did band this year. He's going to do baseball this summer. So, man, you definitely got to spend time with the children. I definitely, before I started working all these hours, I definitely was, taking them to practice. Definitely going to a lot of his games before I, started working so many hours. And so, time is definitely part of being a father. You can't keep making excuses on why you can't be there, or what's the reason, or why you can't carve out that time and be a father. I love being a father. It's one of the greatest accomplishments that I've done as a man in my lifetime, and I don't take it for granted, man. Especially the way the world is turning out to be with these school shootings, and they want to put a gun-free zone here, a gun-free zone there, which it limits me from being able to protect my family. While I'm out and about with them, but time is number one, and I'm telling you this my daughter just turned 10 on June the 4th. My son will be a teenager. Can y'all believe it? He'll be 13. He'll be a teenager this year. He won't be a kid, he'll be a teenager. So, life is it's September the 14th for him. So, life is definitely great. And through my son, he taught me, you have to learn. Being a father or being a mother is not, there's no handbook or guide to being a father or a mother. You pretty much make the mistakes as you go, or you learn from your parents' mistakes as you go. And a lot of mine is from my dad. A couple mistakes he made. I'm not going to say my dad was a bad dad, because he did protect, he did provide. But I've never seen my dad cry. I think the first time I saw him cry was when my great grandmother died, and when his father passed, I believe, and when a couple of his dogs had died. But I can only recall 3 times of when I've ever seen my daddy cry, and that's just who he was, and how he operated. So I had to learn to not be in that type of mindset. It's no knock to my dad. My daddy only knows what his dad didn't teach him. My dad's dad wasn't there for my dad. I think once my dad got older and got growner in life, I think that's when that's when their relationship developed. But when he was a kid and a teenager, his 20s, his 30s, I never seen my grandfather around. So he pretty much learned how to be a father through his with what he learned when he had his own children. So I was able to learn the things to do and not to do, or the things to learn from when it came to my father. And I love my father to death. Great father. He taught me how to work. He taught me how to provide. He taught me how to protect. There's some great things I learned from my dad. And I'm grateful for my dad and what he has taught me. So, shout out to Dad. Dad, I love you. Happy Father's Day to you as well. For stepping up and being a great father. I love you for it. I appreciate you for it. So you have helped shape me to be the father that I am today. Am I a perfect father? No. Do I try to be as perfect as I could possibly be? I try. But for the most part, I want to be an understanding father. Being able to understand where my children are coming from. Not only to understand, but also have, an answer, or to be able to point them in the direction to get an answer that they need. Fatherhood is very important. Very, very important. Fathers, you are important. You make a lot. You make a hell of a difference in children's lives, and I could tell you from my son being a head start and dealing with some of them children, and when I came in the room, how they responded to me, because it was pretty much none but female teachers in head start. So when they saw me walk in, hey, Mr. Sims, hey, Jamal's dad, they acknowledged me. Did they have to? No. But I was damn near there every day. My son was a head start. The staff pretty much knew me by name. Anytime they had anything dealing with dads, I was there. I was on the parent committee board. The next year, I was the president of the parent committee board, first male president of the committee board when I was there. So I was definitely in that school a lot, and they definitely made it very clear in that particular head start that fathers were important, and it was the fatherhood. I think they called it fatherhood or dad's fatherhood, I believe, which was ran by I want to say Mr. Washington, And yeah, they made it very clear that we was important, man. And I definitely understood why we was important, because when I was in that classroom, they pretty much had no problem out of kids, man. It's something about a male presence that's very, very important when it comes to children. Not saying that a woman presence does not make a difference, but a male presence, whether it's an uncle, whether it's a godfather, whether it's a father, whether it's a grandfather, great grandfather, we make a difference when we come in that room. So to fathers, so yeah, man, never feel like you're not important. This was just a little snippet of me just talking and rambling on my live. I wasn't gonna go live, but I didn't have to go to work today, so here I go. But shout out to RGG. Happy Father's Day to everybody in the 2A family. To all these great fathers that's out there training their children, the correct way on how to properly handle a firearm, showing them a proper way on how to defend yourself, how to use to how to use when and how to use your firearm. I'm teaching my son that. Pretty soon I'll be teaching my daughters the same thing. People, don't be scared to teach your children how to properly use a firearm, because one thing I've learned: if you don't teach them, the streets will, and the streets are totally wrong. Shout out to and this is not to throw any shade at John Morant, but that's anybody that I see doing this on YouTube, Instagram, that's waving a gun in the air and not being safe with it. If you're waving a gun in the air, you're not being safe with that firearm. You're being negligent. You're being irresponsible with that firearm. Man, firearms are not toys. They're a tool to help you get home. They're a tool to help you protect your family so your family can get home. I don't play with guns like that. I just don't. I know the importance. I know what it took for me to really get my CPL. I knew the money I had to pay in order to obtain my CPL. So there's nothing I'm gonna do foolish to get that right taken away from you. Y'all, it's a right. It's not something that you're born with, but it's a right. And you gotta understand that right can be taken away if you do something foolish or you do something illegal with a firearm. I think once people really realize that, I don't think we'll have so much foolishness in the room when it comes to firearms. I'm very passionate. It's one thing I do love is my firearms, and as a father that has children, and I have multiple firearms. I mean, as you can see behind me, and it's basically cleared out because I'm about to do a project. I'm doing a project on one of my guns, but you see, I got a ton of them. And y'all, let's be mindful on what we're putting on YouTube and Instagram for these children. Put some stuff on YouTube with you taking your own kid out to and I think I have 1, 2 up where I took my son out to the range. Safe place. You can have just as much fun, doing it in a safe environment, doing it somewhere where, you're safe. Even if you're outdoors, they have steel. Shoot some steel. I'm gonna tell you. Last year I went to the RGAs. I didn't go this year because, like I just said at the beginning of the video, I just came off a family cruise. But man, shooting steel for the first time last year, amazing. I don't even want to shoot paper no more. But right now, this is the only way I can teach I ain't gonna say the only way, but this is the way that I can get one day out of a month to get him to the range. to get me to the range, to stay, to stay fresh and up on what I'm doing, and showing him the correct way, and eventually showing him how to be able to protect yourself while he's home, being able to come down here to be able to have access to be able to grab something to be able to protect himself. And then eventually, if he decides that he wants to carry when he gets old enough, I will be as his father purchasing him his first firearm. And if he continues to stay talking about Michael, so he can pretty much be able to, once he gets out the house, once he gets his life going, if he decides to have children, he'll be able to protect them children and protect, if he decides to get married one day, be able to protect his wife. So, I'm definitely Ja Morant, man. While you got this time off, man, really think about the decisions that you're making. You're about to lose some more money. And, you got to think about that. When you're dealing with the NBA, that's a private entity. And, and I believe they said detrimental to the league is the reason why he got the 25 game suspension, 25 games suspended, because of detrimental to the league. So, if you're at a gun range and you're shooting, that's NBA or NFL, they don't have no problem with that. But when you have been caught on IG waving a gun, they don't approve of that type of behavior if you're in the NBA. So if you want to be a gangster, go be a gangster, but you won't make as much money as you're making in the NBA. You won't get the type of sponsorships in the NBA because you're playing the NBA. And because he's one of the new faces, LeBron is pretty much on the back end of his career. You got the Kobe's gone, you got the Shaquille O'Neal's, you got the Rasheed Wallace's, you got all of them pretty much fanning out. And you got people like Ja Morant, you got people like I don't know what's not considered getting in or getting out himself, but you got the Kawhi Leonards that's on the back end of his career. You got the Dame Leonards that's pretty much he almost there. So you got the Ja Morants coming up. You got these young fellas coming up that's just now signing, getting out of a rookie deal, getting into some big money now. And you got to be careful, man. Just be careful, be mindful of what you're doing, because you don't only represent your team, but you represent the NBA. And like I tell a lot of people, well, that they shouldn't suspend him. It wasn't no shadow of a doubt that if he didn't know he was gonna get suspended. The question was how many games he was gonna get suspended, and with that, how many games I knew they wasn't gonna pay him for being suspended. So he's lost some pretty big money for the next season, with these 25 games being suspended. But I hope he get the proper help that he needs so he can make better decisions. Because at the end of the day, I'm not worried about his basketball career. I'm worried about him being there for his daughter. He has a very small daughter, and you got to be there. And if you decide to keep making poor decisions, it can either end you up in the ground, or you can end up behind some bars, and that's not healthy for your daughter. Especially, I'm a father of a 10-year-old daughter, so Morant, you got to make better decisions, brother. As far as your daughter, and I ain't worried about nobody else but your daughter. You got to make great decisions, because if you don't make great decisions, the outcome could eventually affect your daughter in the long run. That's rather if it was a toy gun, don't play with toy guns. Toy guns look so real. I'm telling you, a BB gun looks so real with the CO2 cartridges in it. They look so real unless you put them side by side. But if you're out there in the street, you pull one of them out, I don't know that's a BB gun. And if you point it at me or anybody else that I know, you're going to get shot. So is it worth waving a fake gun in the air and getting suspended for 25 games and the NBA saying you're detrimental to the NBA, to the league, it's not worth it. To me, I wish I had the talent you had. I wish I did. But, like I said, take this time out, get yourself together, make that money, man. I think you can get your endorsements back eventually. But you have to make better decisions, brother, when it comes down to your money. Anybody that know me know I don't play about my money. Don't play with my money. Don't play with my money. Don't play with my children. And don't play with my wife. And don't play with my family. They're the 4 things I don't play with. Don't play with either one of them. So, John, don't play with your money, brother. Because if you're in the NBA or the NFL, you don't have a retirement plan. So all this money you done lost, you could have put that towards your retirement, brother. Them 2 big endorsements, Gatorade and Nike, you could have banked. Hear what I'm saying, y'all? He could have banked his NBA money from the Grizzlies and could have just lived off his Nike and his Gatorade endorsement alone, sponsorship alone. Man, y'all, we got to make better decisions, man. We got to. You are in a league where you're privileged to play in the NBA. Take advantage of it. Get that money while you're in the NBA. Don't mess up your money, brother. Don't mess up your money. Because that money that you just lost, you could have put it towards, and I'm not saying he not, this is me hypothetically speaking. That money could have went towards your daughter college fund. I mean, you make a ton of money, don't get me wrong. But that money you just missed alone for next season, the season coming up, could have been banked for her for college, or for her to make a trade or do trade school or something. I'm not saying every child is gonna go to college. I went to college, I tried it, which is a little bit too expensive for me. My parents didn't want to put their house up, so it knocked me out. But I'm not mad at them. I understand. And so I've been constantly trying to make sure that we do the same for my children. Make sure they are able to be able to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Be able to have some money put up a nest egg. If they don't want to go to college, then they have a startup fund to where they can be able to. They already got an advantage in most children. They're going to have a house that's going to be paid for. So, between the both of them, they can't sell it. They're not going to be able to sell it without the other's approval. That's one advantage that they have. Now, if they decide to stay here in Michigan, one decides to stay. Well, hey, if the other one moves out of state, then, hey, the only thing you got to do is worry about the taxes and paying the utilities. If I'm able to stay alive enough to pay this house off, you got advantage. You got money saved up to if you want to go to college or if you want to go to trade school. That's one thing my dad and them didn't do, because my dad and them live for day to day. And, I'm not mad at them, but that's just one thing that I've learned with my dad, that to pretty much give them, when they get out there, give them as much of the advantage as you possibly can. And that's why I say they have a house. By the time I'm old and gone, you know what I'm saying? I'll be 40 this year. My plan is to have this house paid off by 55. I want to do it sooner than that, but that's my goal. I'm at a 30-year mortgage. I've been, tagging that principal every month with $100. So, that's going to get the interest rate down very, very quickly compared to just paying the actual mortgage and doing 30 years. So I have a goal. I have my mindset to where when I want to pay my house off. Like I said, hopefully by 55. I want to split that 30 into a 15 to a 20-year mortgage, if I can. And leave it for them. Put them a little money in the bank. I'm about to get on here, and AAA is one of my home insurance. So I'm about to jump on here, give me some full. I got term, insurance right now, but I'm about to get full life. Don't put all that money in the ground and have some money from when I'm dead and gone. So, my dad didn't think like that, So, and I'm not mad at him. Like I said, he didn't really, his dad wasn't there to teach him. So, I had to learn from him and, make a look, some more decisions. I had to sacrifice for my children, which I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? So, man, once again, man, I'm about to get off this. Nobody jumped in. I kind of figured nobody would because this was a last minute thing. But if you do decide to watch this video later, man, hit that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. I do go back and look at them every once in a while. And, man, I appreciate you guys, man. To all the brothers, to all the fathers, to all the grandfathers, great-grandfathers, to all the fathers, to all the uncles, to all the cousins, to the godfathers, to the stepfathers, all you guys that stepped up and took on that responsibility, man. Salute to you guys, man. Don't ever think that you're not important. You're very important in this game called life. Especially if you work, if you not out here doing the wrong thing, you are definitely needed to teach these children on what to do and how hard. If you work hard at what you want, you can get what you want. So continue to work hard, continue to support one another. And to all the fathers in my circle, man, happy Father's Day. And man, peace. Y'all be safe on this Father's Day.